That's such a luxury to look at it that way. You're like, oh, you know, this is an opportunity for me and my guys. It's a business. And if you look at it that way, you're not going to make money.
"Luckiest day of my entire life," Parker Schnabel shouted when he found something amazing buried deep in Alaska's icy soil. Since he was 16, he's been on the hunt for gold, and every day is an adventure. Facing the bitter cold with his crew, they dig deep, hoping for gold. But then they struck something else. Woolly mammoth tusks from over 10,000 years ago, perfectly preserved.
I just found something that's pretty cool.
Is that an ancient tree?
It's a freaking tusk, dude. Mammoth tusk.
Let us discover how this stunning find links Parker's quest for gold to privacies from the deep, icy past. The Alaskan gold rush meets ancient giants. Parker and his team braved the cold, desolate Alaskan wilderness, using sophisticated machinery to dig deep into the frozen ground, each day fueled by the hope of striking it rich. This isn't just about the excitement of finding gold. It's about battling against the odds in a place where the environment itself is a formidable opponent. Parker's story is not just one of personal ambition, but it's also a broader reflection of human ambition against nature's vast, untapped resources. While gold is the primary target, mining occasionally brings other surprises from the depths.
Let's get this sucker loaded in the truck and get out of here. I'm excited. There should be good gold.
Surprises like the discovery of 2 enormous woolly mammoth tusks, perfectly preserved in the permafrost. These tusks, from a creature that roamed over 10,000 years ago, link today's rugged miners with the distant past. When Parker and his team uncovered these ancient tusks, the find was more than just another day at work. It was a powerful moment, connecting them to the deep, icy history buried beneath their feet. The tusks represented a direct touchpoint to a prehistoric era, making them invaluable beyond their potential market price.
Say that, where you start finding mammoth tusk and you can smell that stinky, rotten smell,
Find good
you're
gold.
going to start finding gold.
Which could be in the millions if sold to collectors or museums. However, Parker felt these artifacts held a value that transcended money. He was struck by the rarity and the connection to history they provided, deciding to keep them as part of a personal collection of unique finds rather than selling them for profit. This episode with the mammoth tusks is indicative of the broader implications of gold mining. The activity not only seeks precious metals, but also occasionally unearths significant historical artifacts, adding layers of meaning to the endeavor. This intertwining of past and present challenges the miners to reflect on their impact on the earth and their legacy. Each layer of soil and ice they remove could potentially reveal new treasures, making every day a mixture of routine labor and potential historical revelation.
It's a precarious situation we're in at the moment. We're going to run out of money in about 8 to 10 weeks.
The ongoing journey into Alaska's frozen expanses is driven by more than just the pursuit of wealth. It's about uncovering stories from the past, held in the ice for thousands of years. For Parker and his crew, the thrill of discovering gold is matched by the excitement of encountering pieces of history like the mammoth tusks, which provoke thought about our place in the world and the value of the legacies we uncover and leave behind. As Parker continues his operations, he's constantly reminded of the delicate balance between exploiting resources and respecting the storied land he works upon. His experience raises questions about what we value from the earth, whether it's the immediate financial gain from gold or the deeper, more introspective insights gained from connecting with our planet's ancient past. Parker's adventures serve as a narrative about human endeavor, the environment, and the unforeseen connections between our modern life and the legacies buried beneath us. Each day promises not only gold, but also, perhaps, another glimpse into a long-forgotten history, ensuring the miners' continued respect and wonder at the ground they so meticulously excavate. Next, we dive into the icy lands where the past meets the present, the hidden stories of the Yukon. The frozen lands of the Klondike, known for sparking the Great Yukon Gold Rush, keep yielding more than just gold.
The best thing we can do is, put as much gold in the box right now as possible make as much money as we can so that we can afford a second operation next year.
They also bring up ancient relics like mammoth bones and tusks that seem to get as much attention as the shiny metal itself. Recently, seasoned miner Tony Beets discovered something big at his new Paradise Hill claim. While he was looking for new spots to dig for gold, he spotted a large, curved object sticking out of the ground. Thinking it might be something interesting, he called over his son Mike to help him dig it out. At first, they thought it was the giant jawbone of some long-gone animal, but it turned out to be a 5-foot mammoth tusk, still in great shape thanks to the icy soil it was buried in. Experts about the Ice Age think this tusk is over 30,000 years old. For Tony, finding the tusk brought back clear memories of being a kid and looking at fossils with his dad. Now he was experiencing something similar with his own son, which felt really special to him. However, there's a side to this story that might make you pause and think. The sweet memory of discovering fossils might distract from the tough parts of mining, like the damage it can do to the environment. The soil in the Yukon is full of minerals, which has led to many finds of mammoth remains since miners first rushed to the area in 1898. The ground conditions are just right to keep these ancient bones well preserved. Another miner, Parker Schnabel, even found a whole woolly mammoth skeleton at his mining site, which was both a rare and important find. These discoveries show that mining in the Klondike isn't just about finding gold. Miners also accidentally uncover windows into the distant past. But it's important to remember that mining isn't always as great as it sounds. It's hard work, the money isn't always good, and it can hurt the land. Finding a mammoth tusk, while interesting, can also serve as a distraction from the less appealing parts of mining. As Tony Beets enjoys his find, he points out that the tusk's value to him is more emotional than financial. He appreciates the connection to history more than the potential money it could bring. While this might seem noble, it also highlights a certain irony. The true value of mining might not just be in the gold or fossils found, but also in the stories that miners tell about their work. These stories link the tough job of digging up the earth to the excitement of touching a piece of ancient history. Elsewhere, Parker Schnabel's search for gold took him to Australia, where he went to see a famous gold nugget known as the Welcome Stranger. There he met with a veteran miner named Tyler Mahoney, who showed him a replica of the largest nugget ever found. The original nugget, discovered in 1869, was so big it had to be broken into pieces just to weigh it. Although the original nugget has been melted down, the replica keeps the story alive, encouraging miners like Parker with promises of hidden wealth still out there. The story of the Welcome Stranger nugget, found by two miners from Cornwall named John Deason and Richard Oates, is a tale of sudden fame and lasting wealth. However, focusing on these extraordinary stories can sometimes make people overlook the daily challenges and environmental costs of mining. The legend of such a find keeps feeding the enticing idea of mining, drawing people in with hopes of striking it rich and unearthing historical treasures, even as it hides some of the harsher realities. Now, let's see how Parker Schnabel turns challenges into opportunities. The mirage of instant wealth in the cold Klondike. Parker Schnabel is often seen as a young legend, a character whose stories are perhaps more about good TV than about the reality of mining. He's featured in tales of big risks and even bigger discoveries, like the electrifying nugget, a rare find that sounds more like something from a fairy tale than the natural world. The story tells of Schnabel and his team unearthing a 41.8-ounce gold nugget under the moonlight, its surface uniquely etched with intricate patterns that seemed to dance in the light. This wasn't just a lucky find, it was described as a geological marvel, extremely rare and incredibly valuable. But those more cynical might question how often such discoveries truly happen. High-value finds make for compelling television, after all, drawing viewers with the promise of sudden riches. Experts like mining geologist James Short are brought into the narrative to lend credibility, discussing how extraordinary and unlikely it is to find such a nugget. The rarity of the nugget could drive its price sky high, attracting collectors ready to pay top dollar for a piece of nature's art. This aspect of the story fits perfectly with the drama of TV mining shows, where every episode holds the potential for a major windfall, keeping audiences hooked episode after episode. However, the daily reality of mining is far less glamorous. It's mostly a tough slog through harsh conditions, not a series of thrilling jackpot moments. Mining in the Klondike involves battling the cold.
The best thing we can do is, put as much gold in the box right now as possible, make as much money as we can so that we can afford a second operation next year.
Dealing with broken equipment and facing the constant risk of a season ending without making any profit. Schnabel's time at Eureka Creek is often portrayed as a heroic struggle against nature, with his perseverance finally paying off in a big way. But we rarely hear about the many who take similar risks and end up with nothing, their dreams buried as deep as the gold they never find. The show loves to portray Schnabel as a kind of gold-detecting wizard, a young man with a golden touch who can find treasure where others see nothing. This paints a picture of a miner who can almost magically find gold, contrasting sharply with the reality for most miners, who face immense challenges and often fail to make a profit. The story of massive failures is not as appealing as the stories of massive successes, and tends not to be told with as much enthusiasm. After all, failure doesn't attract viewers. Schnabel's Televised is crafted like a series of adventure stories, each season filled with new challenges and surprising discoveries designed to keep viewers coming back for more. While these stories are engaging, they simplify and glamorize the complex, often grueling world of gold mining. They turn the daily grind, the technical challenges.
We'll just have to see what we can do to get it pulled back down, weld it back up, plate it up however we can here.
And the high risk of failure into a background for heroic success stories, perhaps masking the ordinary, difficult reality with a layer of excitement and triumph. While Schnabel's televised exploits depict a world of constant excitement and occasional monumental discoveries, most of mining involves hard work with little guarantee of success. It's a world where many invest their hopes and resources only to find that the ground is as unyielding as the market is unforgiving. The narrative of constant success and thrilling finds does not fully represent the more common experience of painstaking effort and frequent disappointment in the pursuit of gold. Let's explore Parker's real struggles and the lessons they bring. The high-stakes game of Alaskan mining Parker to become a leader in the Alaskan mining industry has been anything but smooth. He has faced numerous setbacks, but two disasters at the Wolf Cut mine are particularly memorable because they drained his finances and tested his emotional strength. At the Wolf Cut mine, initial reports promised a fortune in gold. Driven by these promising numbers, Parker invested heavily in equipment and workers, determined to mine every bit of gold. Just as they were about to start reaping the rewards of their hard work, a massive storm hit, flooding the mine with water and washing away all hopes of profit. It was a tough lesson about the unpredictability of mining. Despite this setback, Parker was determined to try again at the same location, confident that new pumps would protect the mine from flooding. History repeated itself, however, when these pumps unexpectedly failed and the mine flooded once again. These back-to-back failures cost Parker a lot, not just in money but in the effort and time his team had invested. These disasters highlight the risky nature of mining, where the possibility of equally significant losses always counters huge gains. Yet, Parker's story shows his incredible ability to endure and keep pushing forward, driven by a belief that the potential rewards are worth the risks. Every failure is seen not just as a loss, but as a lesson to learn from, a chance to come back stronger. Parker's relentless pursuit of gold is driven by more than just the desire for wealth. It's fueled by a love for the chase and the challenge. The continual search for gold pushes him and his team to face nature's fury, tackle immense challenges, and sometimes endure heartbreaking losses. Yet, the dream of striking it big keeps them coming back. Mining under such extreme conditions is a life full of highs and lows. The physical and emotional toll it takes is immense, yet for Parker and his crew, giving up is never considered an option. Each new mining season is approached with the same fervor, regardless of past failures. The excitement of possibly hitting a big payday makes all the hardships worthwhile. This ongoing cycle of aspiration, disaster, and recovery is not just a reflection of Parker's personal, but a broader narrative common in the risky business of Alaskan mining. The industry attracts those who are willing to face down tremendous challenges for the chance at life-changing rewards. For Parker and his miners, life is a continuous gamble, where each new dig could mean hitting the jackpot or losing everything. Parker's experiences at the Wolf Cut mine serve as powerful reminders of the harsh realities of mining. The job is unpredictable and difficult, but it is also thrilling. For Parker, each setback is a stepping stone to potential success, and the real treasure is the itself, fraught with obstacles, but also filled with endless possibilities. As soon as the first piles of dirt were dumped into the massive washing machine, chaos broke loose. Machines broke down, unexpected problems popped up, and they sometimes hit geological surprises. To win in this tough game, one needed sharp focus and the ability to handle extreme stress. Parker Schnabel, who seemed born to lead this operation,
Clear everything out, see if we have any gold in here.
cranked up the intensity from the start. He had been preparing for this challenge, the ultimate test of his team's stamina and equipment, all pushed to the breaking point. We now follow Parker on his most daring adventure yet, Secrets of the Lost Gold Mine. His eyes were cold, his nerves as tough as the machines he commanded, as he ordered everyone to go all out. The plan was clear: push harder than ever to squeeze out every last bit of gold from the cold grip of the Klondike, no matter what it cost. "Don't leave a single ounce," he demanded, as the clock ticked down and their stash of gold slowly grew. The dream of reaching 7,000 ounces seemed just within reach, reigniting the team's energy. By the final count, they had smashed even Parker's high expectations, pulling off a record haul that would go down in history. Completely worn out but thrilled, they celebrated their huge win under the obscure lights of the Northern Lights. But Parker's dreams went beyond just striking it rich. The old stories from the early days of the Klondike spoke of a hidden valley where the gold was so plentiful it seemed to just sprout from the ground. Equipped with nothing but old, sketchy maps and the blurry stories passed down through generations, Schnabel spent a tough summer chasing these whispers across more than 60 square miles of dense forests and dangerous mountains. Despite the cold rains, potential rock slides, and occasional moose, he never lost his drive. He was sure that this legendary valley, lost to time, was out there waiting to be found.
We need people and machines, and we just don't have anybody. The only solution I've come up with is we got to shut a plant down.
In the 16th week, when hope was fading, something shiny caught his eye through the trees. Breaking through the thick undergrowth, Parker discovered an old, overgrown mining pit that matched the descriptions in the old journals. A rush of excitement hit him as he realized he had found it. There, at his feet, sparkling in the low light, were the unmistakable signs of gold. After months of non-stop searching, he had finally found the lost gold source, standing in awe in a valley covered in mist, seemingly untouched by time. Now the real work began, bringing this abandoned mine back to life with modern technology and relentless enthusiasm.
And if we're going to be mining here, we're going to have to move all this stuff anyway, so it only makes sense to slam it through a plant.
This was Parker's biggest and most daring adventure yet, a stark reminder of the endless lure of Klondike gold. The tales of hidden riches kept the dream alive, pulling in those brave enough to risk it all for a shot at unmatched wealth. At just 25, Parker Schnabel had already secured his place among the legends of Klondike gold mining. His path, marked by incredible discoveries, devastating floods, and the highs and lows of success and failure, was just beginning. His steady nerve when others might give up, his ability to innovate when faced with obstacles, showcased his unique mix of grit, skill, and instinct. These qualities had led him to his most lucrative season yet, with earnings topping $14 million, With each new season, the future promised both golden opportunities and certain setbacks. Yet, equipped with hard-won knowledge and unyielding determination, Schnabel was ready to continue his relentless search for gold in the Klondike. The hunt for the next great discovery was never over, as long as the possibility of undiscovered wealth lay buried beneath the rugged terrain. In this never-ending quest, Parker Schnabel wasn't just a participant, he was a leader, always driven to uncover the hidden treasures, ensuring that the legend of the Klondike continued. What do you think is the true cost of gold mining on the environment? Like, comment, and subscribe to join the discussion and stay updated on Parker's adventures.